This is an all too familiar sight at most international borders. Trucks, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds and hundreds of them, just sitting there waiting to deliver everything from food to components for products, to the shops and factories that, in turn, wait too. Border delays at many frontiers can be measured in hours, if not days, imposing a heavy cost to industry and an even greater penalty on the economy as a whole.
Transport has a tremendous importance because it is vital to the well-functioning of the economic activities, to the production and distribution of goods, as well as to trade.
It seems a fairly simple concept. Keep the transport moving to keep the economy growing. And within the EU, it's shown positive results. But for European trade to grow, it needs to trade outside its own boundaries. And yet the barriers to road transport at borders like this between Finland and Russia are plentiful.
Cumbersome documentation requirements, having to retype the same information over and over again, fees that are not always transparent, a large range of discretion when it comes to the officers at the border as to how they treat you and in what way.
And before they even get to the border, drivers from certain regions, like Eastern Europe, find it a difficult and lengthy process to get a visa to travel. Of course, increasing concerns about the threat of terrorism and illegal immigration means that border controls have to be tight. But a balance must be struck between what's safe and what's obstructive. The Hague Consulting Group published a report illustrating that $16 billion was being lost each year through barriers to road transport in just 5 countries. But there was another, perhaps more startling figure revealed in that report. It suggested there was a multiplier effect on dollars lost through delays. What this means is that for every dollar lost through extra transport costs, in the developed world, $2 are lost through missed business opportunities.
If we look at emerging markets, the multiplier effect is some 20 times. If we look at underdeveloped economies, the multiplier effect can be up to $100 for that $1 in additional transport cost.
Official bodies like the World Customs Organization are working hard towards the goal of getting the goods moving from country to country.
Que nous avons à l'Organisation mondiale des douanes est de créer des guichets uniques aux frontières. Et ces guichets uniques sont des guichets virtuels, c'est-à-dire c'est pas de mettre ensemble tous les fonctionnaires d'un État pour tamponner et viser les documents, c'est d'utiliser les nouvelles technologies de l'information pour pouvoir effectivement savoir sur des écrans d'ordinateur si les opérations sont conformes aux législations.
Using standard internet and networking technology, these virtual windows will allow all of the many border control agencies to have access to the information they require, with only one point of input for the importer or exporter. A time saver for everyone concerned, but in order to be truly effective, it requires governments across the globe to sign up and agree on a standard set of protocols. But it's perhaps the work of the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe that has had the biggest overall impact. In 1949, they introduced a system called TIR, or TIR, aimed at breaking down the barriers that choke up so many borders.
It allows the international transport of goods to go from country A to country D with controls only in country A and country D, and no controls on the intermediate borders in B and C.
Last year saw over 3 million TIR carnets issued. Universal weight certificates and multi-entry annual visas would also help massively with the transparency of working across so many countries, harmonising border control systems so that we may all feel the full benefit of being part of the global community.